Okay, Daryl, looks like we have about 10 people on or so. So if you want to go ahead and get started, I think we'll just have more people trickle in.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you. Okay, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to the Western Neuropathy Socks for Balance and Vox Products webinar. This webinar is intended to inform our members and caregivers of products and devices marketed to treat the symptoms of peripheral neuropathy. The Western Neuropathy Association does not endorse or receive any financial support from the vendor or the presenter of the webinar. There is no cure for peripheral neuropathy at this time, and effective medication and therapies vary widely among neuropathy sufferers. Keeping that in mind, it is my pleasure to introduce Janet Bernstein and her son, Brett Bernstein, and they're joining us today to discuss Vox Life and the products related to peripheral neuropathy. They offer socks, insoles, and patches that help with balance, stability, range of motion, and many pain issues, primarily relative to peripheral to neuropathy. Information about these products can be obtained from their website at socksforneuropathy.com. And of course, that information will be provided to you as we go forward. So without any further ado, I'd like to introduce Janet and Brett. Be my guest. It's all yours.
Thank you.
Thank you, Daryl. This is pretty cool to be on a call with my mom. I gotta say, I'm on calls all the time, but it's nice to be on with my mom. So we kind of talked. Yeah, that too. So we talked ahead of time how we're going to go ahead and kind of walk you all through what we've built around the Socks for Neuropathy website and the content we have on there. I'm going to kick things off first and walk everybody here through a clinical study that was published independently of any products, showing neuropathy pain prior to the study, and then once wearing these particular socks, and then the pain reported after the study. I'm going to show a 3-minute video kind of the science and walking through a brain mapping, because as we all know, neuropathy pain is a brain related ailment, right? Because the brain signals from your nervous system are getting a little bit mixed in translation with the brain. So I want to show how this technology impacts with the brain. And then we're actually going to show you the sock itself. People always ask us, like, what is the technology in the sock that helps with this? And we're going to show you that as well. So if you have any questions at all, I see the chat bubble. Feel free to ask it there. And as soon as my mom have a chance, we'll respond. And then also, I imagine we'll have maybe I saw somebody has to leave in about 10 minutes, probably about 15 minutes of content, and then open it up to Q&A for those of you on the call. Let's go ahead and just get started here. Again, I'm Brett. I live in California, and the website that I've built, as Daryl mentioned already, is called socksforneuropathy.com. And on this website, I show a ton of videos that we personally have filmed. People that don't even know us have tried on these socks, and we ask them to leave a review for us and kind of how they feel. We have a bunch of these videos here of real people trying on these socks and the impact it has for them. But before I kind of walk through that, I want to talk about this study that took place a couple of years ago with 1,000 people who have diabetes and PNS, peripheral neuropathy symptoms, and what they went through. So here is the official study that you can read at your will. It's available on my website as well as on other websites to pull down. And I've also summarized this as well. Let me just move this Zoom thing on the website here, making it a lot easier for the average person to understand the science that's went into the study. But essentially, the study is as follows: 1,000 people that qualified for the study had neuropathy pain. They were wearing typical diabetic neuropathy NeuroPoint socks, so typical compression socks to help with the pain. The average pain level reported prior, I'm going to go ahead and show this here, reported prior to the study was a 7.8. That was the average amount of pain, which is a severe pain level. So 1,000 people were reporting pain. The average was a 7. The minimum to qualify for the study was they had to have at least a 4 of pain on this score, right? So this is like the faces that correspond with the pain level. So here is the average pain for each person prior to the study. Then this doctor conducting the study handed out these socks to the patients and said, wear these socks for the next 7 days, and then come on back and let's report your pain level at that point. Here is the pain after the study. You can see here almost a direct inverse, right? Where the average was, 6.9 average pain. And after the study, 1.8. Looking back on these icons, a 1.8 is mild and is in the can be ignored category compared to the severe. So this was a really amazing study, and 942 of the 1,000 people reported a benefit or a reduction in their pain. That was significant. So here's another just kind of side by side of the graph. So you can see here the actual percentage breakdown of the number of patients who reported a particular drop in pain. But ultimately, it's just a dramatic improvement in the quality of life of these patients. And the best part is it doesn't require like any significant ongoing treatments or medications or anything that could interfere. The process is you put on the pair of socks. Within about 10 seconds, you will start to feel some benefits, at least if you're in the average category of people wearing them. And then, you keep wearing them and it gets better. I want to go ahead now at this point, and if you have any questions, let us know. But I want to show you a 3-minute video of how this works in your brain, right? Because it's, you can feel it, but what's actually happening in the brain. So for this, I'm going to lean on the founder of the company that created these socks to walk you through it. So that is right here. I've already queued it up. What you're looking at is a brain mapping device that this individual is wearing, and it's going to be showing the areas of his brain by different color sequences, right? And my mom, actually, who you'll hear from in a few minutes, she did a very similar study for a mammogram, and her red areas were lit up, and then she put on the socks and it turned to a blue or a green, which is a better, and she can talk to me more about that. But I want to show this video now, and hopefully you guys can hear it okay through the Zoom.
19-channel EEG headset, as well as FDA cleared software to visualize, record, and show the impact that our technology has on our neurology and our brains to help it reach optimal performance. What we want to show today is how the Harmony Neuro Patch helps that dysregulated yellow, blue, and red colors in the brain maps transform into that healthy green homeostasis neurology that is the foundation of health and wellness. So what we're looking at right now is a neurological QEEG output of Mike's limbic system. The 19 channels are reading over 60,000 brainwaves a second and generating an output of neurofunction and brainwaves. What we want to see now is where that suboptimal red and yellow colors are. We want to see them turning as much as possible to a healthy green with the application of our HPT patch. So we've applied the patch now to Mike's arm, and within 10 seconds, you're seeing that predominant yellow and red become predominantly green. Just for clarification, ladies and gentlemen, there's nothing in the world that has this output at this rate of speed without drugs, without chemicals, without electricity. That's the power of Vox HPT. So when we see a healthy green neurology, what we're looking at is a brain and a mind in homeostasis. It is operating in its optimal function. And this is so important. And this is why it's so important. So VoxLife HPT, as we demonstrated with our NeuroPatch, helps.
I'm just going to pause there. The patch you saw is the same technology, but in the form of a patch you can wear on your arm versus putting it on the bottom of your foot in the sock. The reason why you put it on the arm or the bottom of the foot with the sock is that you have more neuroreceptors on the bottom of your foot or in the areas where you wear the patch that can read the signal of the technology that the socks have. So that's kind of a quick one. You can watch the rest of this video on the website. And in fact, he takes the patch off of the guy's arm and you see the red and yellow creep back into the brain mapping. Why this is so important is I heard an analogy one time that there's a lot of stuff going on in your brain, and when it's not in homeostasis, it's like a cobweb, and it's hard to get the right signals firing with the right signals. I'm holding a cup of coffee right here, and if this was really hot, I would know about it really fast because my nervous system would tell my brain, right, through the neuropathy, through the PNS, that this is hot, right? And if your brain is a little clouded or unable to get the right data points through, it fires the wrong signals, which is why you might feel a burning sensation in your feet, for example, right? So when you put this HPT patch on through the patch or the socks, it's like clearing out the cobwebs, right? It allows the transmission of that data up and down your body to be a little more performant. And that's how the technology works. Any questions, or Mom, anything you want to add at this point to the science?
Not the science. I mean, if you want, I can show you my
Yeah, let's
scan that
show
I-
the stock, because I think the number one question we always get at this point is like, what is, oh yeah, there's the mammogram. Let's go ahead and show that.
a thermogram, Brad, a thermogram.
The thermogram. You know, it's probably hard to see on my screen since, let me go ahead and make this bigger so that everybody can see it. So yeah, what you're looking at here, everybody, is the amount of red on this one, which is no socks on, and the less red in this one. And again, this is the same, this is my mom. She's not even like, you know, an actor or anything like that. This is literally, you know, her data that her doctor, who doesn't even know about this technology at the time, was able to show her. I see a Q&A question. Was there a control group in the study? So there, from what I understand from the study, and I read it through it very thoroughly, they wore the traditional neuropathy socks, basically compression socks, for the week prior. So the control was the same 1,000 people wearing the traditional socks compared to those same people wearing the other one, the Vox socks. And then they also put in place, and they put this in here, if you're a statistics, you know, well-versed statistics, they did do what's called a two-sample t-test to basically remove like the ability for it to be incorrect data or like an anomaly. They did this sort of to weed out the potential that the statistical conclusions are non-statistical. So they did find that within a very strong correlation, this data does meet statistical requirements. But yeah, definitely we'll send this report over to anybody interested, or you can find it on our website as well and go through it in much more detail. Yeah, definitely the power of positive thinking is definitely possible here. I think this is a pretty large sample size to have that effect, but no doubt that's actually why the company that built these socks has a 30-day money back guarantee. So for any reason, so you put them on, and if you're feeling benefits right away, great. If it diminishes over 30 days, return them. Or if it doesn't work for you at all, it definitely does have that. You know, I was skeptical before when I first saw these socks. My parents, you know, brought them into our life and showed some people and got some opinions on them. And I was like, come on, there's no way these socks can do that. And over again, we were at these different events. We went to the Abilities Expo, for example, in Los Angeles, and a lot of people with, you know, pretty debilitating, you know, pain would put on these socks, and for whatever reason, whether it be power of positive thinking or the technology in them, they did feel better. So I want to go ahead now and transition to my mom and give her a chance to talk, you know, walk you through the sock itself, because people definitely don't understand what the technology looks like until they actually get in there and see the sock itself. So Mom, do you want to go ahead and show that sock you have?
Sure, thanks. So one of the things that I don't think Brett quite said, though, is that a lot of videos that we have taken at different events, like at the Abilities Expo, they are all on Brett's website. He's taken a bunch. So like this girl with muscular dystrophy, or this girl was at one of the Abilities Expo, the one on the left, Brett, yeah, that one. That was some girl who, she actually didn't buy a pair of socks. She just showed up in front of our booth with a pair of socks on her feet, yelling in disbelief. She interrupted everybody around. It was the most incredible thing. And it wasn't until the next day did I find out where she got her socks from, because I looked at the type of socks she had on, and then we looked at how many people we sold them to, and I texted every single person, like, do you know who this woman is? It was the funniest thing. But anyways, you can watch that video. But let me explain the socks a little bit. So on the bottom of every sock, what I have here is a knee high, okay, which has most of the things. And this is part of our athletic line. But on the bottom of the sock, we have this technology right here. Over here, this yellow is an arch support built in. This is the toe part, if you can see it, and the heel. But anyways, this is the technology. It looks like a thumbprint. I know it's actually covered by the thumbprint of the founder, so he could hide it, hide the pattern. But anyways, the pattern that's in here connects with the neuroreceptors on the bottom of our feet, just to repeat what Brett has said, which in turn then connects with our midbrain, puts the body into a neurological calming or homeostasis, helps with balance, stability, range of motion, pain, and especially neuropathy.
You paused it. You actually, your signal dropped on for like the last 5 seconds. If you want to go back to the homeostasis line.
Oh, helps with homeostasis, which in turn then the technology connects with the neuro points on the bottom of our feet, connects with the midbrain, and then helps with balance, stability, range of motion, pain, and things like neuropathy pain. So this has a seamless toe over here, a reinforced seamless toe. There's an area up here that dissipates the heat so you don't get too hot in your socks. This, like I said, is an arch support. This is a reinforced ankle. This over here, as you go up the leg, we have graduated compression. This is an ankle support here, but then graduated compression going up the leg with a nice wide generous band. The socks are antimicrobial and moisture wicking. You won't get too hot in your socks. You won't sweat in your socks because you have that area that dissipates the heat. They are super comfortable. You don't feel this on the bottom. They just feel like your typical pair of socks. And this is the athletic line. We also have a non-athletic line, which is just your typical everyday pair of socks. Doesn't have the arch support, doesn't have the ankle support, doesn't have the graduated compression. All of our socks have the same technology with this special pattern. Okay.
I want to just answer Catherine's question on this too, because she says she's bought these socks before about 4 years ago and wants to know if they're still effective. And the answer is as long as the patch on the bottom of the sock hasn't, is still there and it hasn't a hole in it, they should still be effective.
Brett, how long can you, how many cycles of washing can you run these through?
Yeah, so the recommendation is to not put them in the dryer. The dryer would degrade them sooner. So yeah, they last for a long time. I've been wearing the same socks. I have like 4 pairs of no-shows, my favorite one. And the best part about them is they don't slip off my feet. My girlfriend wears them. We all wear the no-shows in my friend group and family because it's so hard to find a good pair of no-shows that don't slip off when you're on a run or when you're just walking around town. But the crazy part is you might have missed this when my mom said this, but they're antimicrobial. And what that means, it sounds kind of gross at first because what I'm about to tell you is pretty non-traditional, but I'll wear my Vox socks multiple times, multiple days between washings because they do not smell. No matter how much I wear them or I run in them, they will not smell because there's no microbial bacteria getting in there to create the smell. So my recommendation is to wear them multiple times, wash them, once a week or whatever it is, and don't dry them, and they'll last for a long time. I've worn through, I think, maybe 2 pairs of socks over the course of the last few years. Most of them last. And Katie, to answer your question, I think I'm going to lean on my mom here about the balance. However, I will also add that we do have a study on the balance on our website as well, talking about how this same technology was used in another study called the Sway Balance Test, right? So here you can watch this, you can read through the study that I summarized as well, where people were essentially asked to stand on one leg and measure their balance, and the report was statistically positive that there was a 31% increase in their sway score. And they use a certain technology to measure this. You could read through all this on the website as well, but it's the same technology. But it all goes back to the same concept that your brain has been cleared. You know, it sort of has a better communication channel with your nervous system to allow it to maintain better balance. And Mom, anything you want to add on the balance side?
No, I think there's that really great video of that girl with the purple hair from the LA convention,
Yeah, it's a really good video.
Abilities Expo. She's this crazy girl. Where
Yeah.
is she? Right there in the middle.
Yeah, this would actually be a really good one to show. Let me pull it up, everybody.
So yeah, I bought these yesterday and I took them home and I put them on this morning. And normally when I'm at home, I have a cane that I walk with. And I was able to take steps at home without my cane wearing my socks. Awesome. It was the most amazing thing ever. Seriously. Actually, I dropped my cane and I'm standing there and I'm frozen. I'm going. And so I took a step and then I took another one and I was like, oh my gosh, no, I can actually walk with it.
So yeah, that is a great example. And I think on the topic of balance, I would like to show one more as well with Ricky. This is a really
Thanks, Ricky. How do they feel?
They feel good, very good. Believe it or not, they're helping me walk, and believe it or not, my speech is better. Thank you, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thanks, Ricky.
So just another two examples. Again, these are people we literally met those days at that time. Nothing that we, no incentive for them, nothing. Just actually.
So Ricky had this high squeaky voice and he could not get out of his chair. And my husband lent him a pair of socks and he went for lunch and then came back. And when he came back, he's like, I can get out of my chair. It was just, he was so incredibly impressed. And then at the end of that video, he actually started dancing with his caregiver. He was so impressed. So he was really happy, really, really happy. So yes, the socks help with balance. And there's another one, that girl with, the girl in the middle with the green outfit.
This
Where
one.
is she? There, yeah, muscular dystrophy. She talks about balance.
No, I wish we had taken a before video of me standing in my shoes without the insoles that these lovely ladies sell. But I'm telling you right now, I have never stood this still in my life without holding on to something. Usually I'm readjusting my balance every few seconds and I'm just standing here and it's like amazing.
Tell me about what's going on with you.
So I have muscular dystrophy. I've had it my whole life. It affects my muscles, but it also affects my balance. And I have never been able to just stand comfortably and not be moving. And it's worth whatever they want. But really, it's only $50 for the insoles. So go for it. Just let you try it out. It's amazing. Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah, it's really powerful stuff. I will say, Bill, to answer your question about colors and cost, we link directly to the place where you can buy them on the website here. So I recommend starting at the socksforneuropathy.com website, so you can just look at some of these videos and understand the content, and then you can click on any of these different places to buy them. Again, all of them come with 30 days money back guarantee, no questions asked. You can see that the colors range all over the place. The prices are $40 to $55 per pair. They often are running specials every now and then, so you can like ping us if you want to try specials like buy two get one free sometimes that come out. It's not predictable when it's going to happen, but it does happen sometimes. And you can see here they have insoles if you want to put those into your shoes, so they just always have it touching your feet. The different lines. So I love the athletic line because they're a snugger fit. They're really just, the material is really soft and snug. But then I also, for like working meetings, that kind of stuff, I like to wear the wellness and casual line. And this is where a lot of the different colors comes in.
In a nutshell, though, the athletic line, which is probably the main line that I wear also, comes in black, gray, white, blue, and red. But the knee high is only available in black and gray.
Yep. I'm just gonna put this.
There's also 3 different kinds of insoles. So this is actually the Rush insole. It's got the least amount of density. And that's more for someone who's running, jumping, whatever. Then we have the middle of the line one, which is our, I forgot the name of it.
I'll pull it up.
And that's for somebody who's on their feet all day long.
Yep.
And then after that, we have the
thicker ones.
The thicker one, and that's more for a senior. That's more for someone who just wants that extra padding. But these are all, you take out your insole and you put these in. That's what these are. They're for your athletic shoes.
Yeah, on this point, so for Helene, for your question around comparing the socks versus the insole for small fiber neuropathy, from what I understand, and Mom, feel free to correct me here, there's, whether you use the insole, the sock, or the patch, it doesn't have a dramatic difference in the effect, as long as that pattern is able to interact with the bottom of your foot, or in the case of the patch, with your wrist.
So what I would kind of add is, you're going to wear the sock more than you're going to wear the insole, because you can wear the sock without a shoe, and you can wear the sock to bed. Some people like to double up when they have major issues and they've had this for a long time of their life, basically. They might wear the sock and the insole. But bottom line is, you want to get what you're going to wear. So if you're never going to wear a sock, then don't get socks. If all you wear is sandals, then you need the patches. Okay.
Yep. And then, Rich, to your question, so I do know there's a lot of practitioners and people in the medical industry that are recommending this. I think it's an example of, it's just still a relatively new technology, all right, and it's not a medicine, but you can definitely, I know we have people in our network that are in the medical space who recommend it. Mom, anything you want to add to that?
Yeah, I have a practitioner. She's more in a, what's that called? A boutique type setting. She's in Las Vegas and she loves the socks and she's selling a ton of them to her patients. But I have a few practitioners, but you just, you have to find the right one, or if your practitioner is interested, by all means, I can talk to them. Get them on board so that you can buy them directly from them.
Yeah, again, the best part is that the company is so confident that the company that produces these, which is Vox Life, which you can get to them through our Socks for Neuropathy website, is that they're not trying to do a hard sell or anything. They're just saying, hey, listen, try them on for 30 days. If they don't work for you in 30 days, you return them money back, no questions asked. Anything else that we can answer? Anything else, Mom, that you think we should make sure we talk about too?
Well, I guess bottom line is, it doesn't cost anything to try. There's that 30-day money back guarantee. I actually send out emails to people that have not bought. So if you want to learn more about the socks, you can also give me your email address, your name, and I can put you on that list. I call you my browsing list. But then when people buy, they go on my purchasing list. So I have two different lists going on. But Brett's website, I mean, obviously I have my own website, but Brett's website is really geared for neuropathy, which is why I really wanted Brett on this call for all of you guys, because
Yeah.
that's what he really went for.
So that I just put in the chat, my website, to actually go directly to the shopping. If that's something you would like to try out, you can also just go directly there using this link. That'll take you right to the shopping, right to the specific page where you can buy the stocks.
And from time to time, they do run specials. And I guess if you're on my list, then you would find out about them. Because I send out the email. When a special happens, I send out an email.
Oh, Catherine, you don't see the link above? Just making sure. Is that just a panelist? Oh, I just sent those to panelists. Sorry, 1 second. Let me send it to all. Thanks for the catch there, Catherine. So here is the link to purchase. It goes right to the page to purchase. And then here is my website where you can get the information as well as finding the link to purchase. And then if you want to email us, especially my mom directly, her website or her email address is info@socksforbalance.com. That's right, Mom?
Yeah.
And that'll get to her and my father as well. It's kind of nice.
No, FO, no, it's the 4,
Oh,
not
right.
FO.
Right, let me get rid of that. info@socksforbalance. I do that.
It's the
Please use
number
that one.
4.
Yeah.
And then I can add you to my list.
Yeah, so just make sure, don't use the one, the first.
Yeah.
Her email, her website and email is different because she focuses on the balance related benefits, whereas I really dug into the neuropathy studies for this product.
But it all takes you to the same place.
Okay.
Any other questions,
No.
anybody?
Okay, well, I don't think we see any for now, and I really want to say thank you for the presentation and the information, and I sincerely hope that people will take a look and see what they think about it. So thank you again for participating with our group, and we will have this put online for people to see, through the Western Neuropathy Association site as well. So thank you again. You have a great day.
Thank you, Daryl. Thank you, Katie. Everybody that joined.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.